that person on the chat.
She told you see what I saw. And what would you forget when you told her every moment you told me
I'd like to welcome everybody again back to Vortex Media 2. And as you know, every Saturday we have the Black Domestic Discipline Show featuring Queen Yahshell right here on Vortex Media 2. Once again, you've entered the Vortex with the beautiful Queen Yahshell. I always also have my man Ty Data here, who, you know, dealing with a lot of questions that he has about Black domestic discipline and stuff. So once again, we're going to get it popping. Tell all your family and friends and the ladies out there who might want to know more about Black domestic discipline that we in the building, and it's going on and it's going down. So here we are. Without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce Queen Yahshell. Queen Yahshell, peace. Welcome to the show.
Peace and greetings, King Vortex. Domestic discipline It's very simple. It's just for women who might need a little help with their mouths going off. We have issues, and spankings can heal that. A good belt, a good paddle every now and then is a good thing. It's discipline. And so I think that's a good thing. What do you think?
It works.
It works.
No doubt. Something, it's one solution out of many that we need. And like you said, I think you said it's not for everybody, but it may be for more people than they know if they really take a look at it, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of women who are like underground with this. Nobody wants to talk about this because a lot of people think that this is an embarrassing topic to talk about, especially women. But they're underground, they're there, and they're thriving, and they're getting spanked. And their relationships are working. And so, yeah, that's basically it. But I wanted to get into data. You had some very interesting questions for me, and I honestly, this is the first time that I've been dumbfounded. Like, I didn't even know how to answer the questions that you asked me. Like I was telling Lex, a lot of people ask me the same questions over and over again. And I'm able to put a frequently asked question section on my website. So people can go there and get more information. They can go there to answer their questions. But you had questions that I never really quite heard before. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I would like to dive right into that. I remember you asking me something about, I'll let you put out there. I don't want to put out there. I'll let you put out there.
Okay. Peace, everybody. I guess thank you for watching the show. Queen Yahshell, she put in work and she believed in what she say. But yeah, I was talking to her. I had a couple questions. But I seen something in it. I seen something in what she was doing after I heard her backstory. I kind of seen like she putting together a formula, to get herself, I guess what you would call a good man or a decent man, a professional man, or something like that. And so, I don't think people really realize, the solution or the formula that she was putting forward. And so, you know what? I might want to speak on that a little bit before I get to the questions, because this is kind of what I was thinking. Because she was saying that she was a young Yahshell. I mean, let's just keep it real. Her name Yahshell. You know what I'm saying? Crazy Yahshell. You know what I'm saying? Yahshell. So you might be able to pull that shit off on a Diamond or a Porsche, but Yahshell, I mean, damn. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it says it all. You know what I'm saying? And so she was saying that like she was kind of a wild girl, and so her husband was more professional, and so she was able to get her a professional man with the wild girl background, and so it's like it's a formula that she was putting together for girls with a wild background or girls that's a little bit wild. You could still get yourself that Barack Obama type, you know what I'm saying, that professional Prince Charming type. And I don't mean the literally Prince Charming. I'm talking in folktale dimension, a folktale type of, thing. And so she was able to land her that guy, until she was able to, get herself more mature. So that was a solution. And but I was asking her because she talked very highly of her husband. And so I guess, the way she talk about him, he would be like the cream of the crop. And then she always talk about, the bad guy, which is the Tyrone who stay out late. Right. Who cuss you out but she never talk about the guy in the middle. So I was asking her, about the middle guy, you know what I'm saying? Like the guy who's not the folktale Prince Charming, and the guy who's not, the gang banging Tyrone or whatever. And so, where do they meet at? You know what I'm saying? Where's the cutoff point where you don't get this. So I was asking her that type of question. And so she was like, let's do it on the show. So, I mean, where does Tyrone meet the folktale Prince Charming? I mean, how would a woman measure that?
We measure it by love. We know when we love somebody. We know when somebody loves us. I trust my husband enough to discipline me. And I don't know, you just have to have that kind of trust and love in the relationship. There's so many dynamics to every relationship. It's hard to put a name on it and say the middle guy or the Tyrone guy or the good guy. I mean, we all can change. Like, I'm proof of that. We can change and be better. But we have to, like, trust each other. How can... there's no way in hell. I'm going to say one thing. There's no way that I would allow somebody to spank me who is immature. The Pookie Ray Ray type guys. No way in hell. They're not going to put their hands on me. I wouldn't even be with them. But there's a lot of women who are with guys like that. And so what do you mean when you say the middle guy? Like, who is the middle guy? Maybe somebody who...
I understand what he's talking about.
You understand?
I understand, yeah. And answer your question, I think you have to know whether or not you love that person. For instance, love is patient and love is kind. So if you love that person enough to want to try different things to make the relationship work, let's say, especially if you got kids involved and you want to stay with that person, you got to make it work. One person has an attitude problem, needs an attitude adjustment. I wouldn't say, we're not talking about abuse here. Let's get that straight. We're talking about discipline. And my wife wrote me a letter and asked me to do this. So we had an understanding this was going to be done. So it doesn't matter whether you're that thug or that good guy, high-tech guy, whatever you want to call it. You said the middle guy. You got to have, number one thing is you got to have love and you got to have trust. So it doesn't matter where you are. I came up in a background where I stayed with my father and my stepmother. And there was some abuse there. And I made a promise to myself I would never put my hand on a woman. I would never abuse a woman. And so for my wife to ask me to do this, it was kind of like, it put me in an awkward situation because I came up in a Christian background. And I didn't realize that it was actually in the Bible that a man could discipline his wife.
No, a lot of people don't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. But my main thing is that I want you to understand that it doesn't matter where you are, if you're in the middle or on either end, you got to have love and you got to trust each other, and you can't be abusive. It can be painful for a man to discipline his wife, especially if the man loves his wife. But I can say that it's helped our relationship a great deal. I would like my wife, and I realize if I don't discipline her, then she could get into some trouble. So that's why I love my wife, and because I love my wife, I do the discipline thing. And it's not always spankings and stuff like that. It could be something as simple as, taking the cell phone when I know she could get into some trouble, So spanking is not always the answer to everything. Just like with your kids, you can't spank your kids for every little thing they do, but you can take away a cell phone. That could be some other type of punishment, but it's still domestic discipline. Did that make any sense to you?
It was basically, you were saying like the woman got to measure the love pretty much.
Yes.
No flat answer.
And consent. The woman has to give that consent. Like, I mean, there's some women in domestic discipline community where their husband grew up in a domestic discipline relationship, so they just haul off and start spanking their women. Ty, I don't even know if y'all know Tay. She, that's how she started with domestic discipline. Her husband just started spanking her. But the point is, I think that it would be better if you have that consent with the woman. The woman has to agree to be able to do that.
And on the patient part,
should I put you on?
No.
I'll put you on.
On the patient part, you still gotta have that those degrees of intensity, like you talk with them first about the behavior. Second time, you remind them of the behavior that they repeated. Third time, you may want to say something like, okay, we're going to have to proceed to some disciplinary action if you don't correct this behavior. So it's not like you're just beating a person. I think that's wrong. You can't just beat somebody. You don't have the right, and you really don't have the right to just beat somebody just out of the blue. That's abuse. You got to talk about the problems first.
Yeah, because I don't get spanked for every little thing. Like, there's a lot of things that I should be spanked for, but I'm not. Because he's so patient. He's very patient. But at the same time, he knows when I'm going overboard and doing something that can possibly harm our family or harm our relationship. So.
Another question is that, like me, I'm sort of a goofball, but I got patience. So I'm a type of guy that I just mentally record all your mess ups, and I just I let you think you're taking advantage, and okay, it's cool, no problem. You know what I'm saying? You got phone calls or whatever you got going on. It's cool, no problem. And one day, maybe early in the morning, or one day you get off work, and I'm just like, go get the belt. You know what I'm saying? And I'm finna do a bunch of stuff to you. I mean, is that abusive, or is that something that's acceptable? Like instead of just whipping you for one thing, he just basically get a whole bunch of stuff, and he basically just have his way and just do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just and you just gonna shut up and you gonna take it.
No, I think it should be done like my father would always discipline me like you could associate the punishment with the behavior. Like you shouldn't ever discipline somebody when you're mad at them at first because you would definitely probably hurt somebody. I mean, my dad would always tell me, son, if you're mad at a person, get away from them because you may hurt them.
Mm-hmm. Right. But this is we're talking a little more fantasy now, because now your discipline.
I think that's what I thought. That was my initial feeling.
Your discipline done turned into some of my freaky little fantasies now. So now
all right. I think that's going more into like BDSM, which BDSM stands for there's discipline in that too, but it's more of like 50 Shades of Grey type thing where it's a little fun to it. It's more fun.
Well, each is on. Everybody's will be different, but maybe that was his way. But yeah,
at night, I think it's a good time. It gets a little freaky, but
it does.
At night, it's a good time. It's a good time to do it. I mean, literally.
For us, we tend to do it at night, like.
But what happened?
More BDSM things, but
is that abusing my power, or is that something that he can do? Like if he want to just, he just do little stuff, little smart, little marks stuff.
Okay, on the BDSM side, you're supposed to have safe words. You're supposed to say stuff like yellow or green.
No. Well, yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, I'm not talking about literally punishment. I'm talking about my mental fetishes, like stuff that I.
Okay, he does that. He tends to do that at night.
It's not really a punishment. It's more like my playtime. You know what I'm saying?
That's separate.
Versus but it ain't gonna be no though. You know what I'm saying? So we're not accepting no this time. You know what I'm saying? All the other stuff that you be like, oh no, none of that, because you've been on the list, and I got a list of stuff that I can run down that you've been doing all last week. And so instead of actually like hitting, if I want to, but it's going to turn into something more like, yeah, you're going to do this and do this stuff, and is that abusive, or is that
I don't think it is
too freaky, or what?
I think that's communicating. I mean, like, you remember you did this, right? You can't do that again this week. You got to be good. You've been a bad girl. You got to be good this week. You're not gonna. You got to do this. You got to do that.
And I'm going to do this to you.
Give out the commands. Yeah, that's kind of free. Yeah, that's cool.
Right. I'm going to do this to you, and I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Even though you said no 1,000 times, but tonight I'm getting it. I'm you know what I'm saying? Tonight you're doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I don't know why it plays out like that, but it does. Exactly like how you said. I say no. I don't want to do anything. Just leave me alone. And he takes it, and I like it. And I'm like, why the fuck am I liking this? I should not be liking this, but I do. And so that goes to the BDSM side, I guess. But there is still the discipline thing.
Kind of a mixture.
It's a mixture, but it's also separate.
Right. Each is on. Each is on. But that's acceptable though. That's cool.
Exactly. I think that's
just like we fight in humanity. Humanity fights, they play. You play and you fight. It's a normal thing. And I think we should kind of embrace that a little bit more.
But ain't that abusive?
No, isn't. I mean, there's so many women that fight each other, and there's so many women that fight men. Like, women will jump on men. Women will beat your ass.
No, not physical fight.
No, I'm saying in general. No.
So when I'm thinking bombing. So you talking about an argument?
No, I'm just saying in humanity, in society, you see women jumping on men. You see women jumping on each other. Do you not see that? Do you not see that?
Yeah.
No,
because you use the word fight, and so when you say fight, I'm thinking like literally fight, but you really mean an argument, right? Like you and him have an argument. You guys don't fight. You guys have argument. You guys argue.
Everything's not peaches and cream all the time. You have to have some kind of what is it called? I want to put this into words. Like when you go to a movie, when you see a movie, if everything's all peaches and cream, everybody's smiling and happy all the time, wouldn't that get boring?
No, disagreements that settle with the belt. That's
the best way to put it. So it's not violence. It's not anything that's degrading. It's just it gets settled. There's a resolution to this. When you just go off and fight and just be violent, there's no resolution to that. It can continue, and then somebody can die. We don't want that. So it's all about coming to the resolution.
Okay. So the overall message I get is that you was a wild girl who had a wild past, and you land yourself a professional man. And so like me, I was raised by my mom and my two sisters and my auntie, and so my mom was real good on manners, and so I'm just not figuring this out by myself later on in life. But I like a woman with good manners. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not going to deal with no loudmouth chick. I'm just not going to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like professional brothers, we're not going to not going to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Could you imagine somebody like a brother Jabari having to deal with young Yahshell, or Barack Obama had to deal with a young Yahshell? You just ain't gonna deal with it. But with that discipline, I might deal with a young Yahshell. We might
discipline her, right?
You know what I'm saying?
If she has an consent and she allows it to, yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And even Barack might even, he a professional brother. He might, deal with a little loud. He might.
I'm sure he doesn't broadcast that, but trust me, he disciplines her.
And so it's a solution. If you're a wild girl. Now we know these wild girls only make up a small percent of our population, and so all our women is just not wild like that. You know what I'm saying? That's a small little percentage if you really want to be technical, because we got a lot of more professional women. But if you are a wild girl and you're a wild girl, chances are you probably going to meet you another wild guy. But if you get in that position where you want your professional, you know what I'm saying, man, then domestic discipline would be a solution, not the solution, but a solution.
A solution, exactly.
A solution, right?
Because we're not just sitting here. The women that I notice in our community, we're not sitting here just trying to be bitches and go off on our husbands and try to create a whole bunch of chaos in our households. We really are trying. We're trying our hardest. But like you said, you were raised single family home. I didn't have a father in the house, and so I don't think people realize the importance of having a father in the household. The father lays down the rules. He's the head of the household. He provides the discipline, the structure, the leadership. I had none of that. Every time I seen my mom, she was cussing out her baby daddy, which was my father. She was cussing him out, almost probably put a knife to him.
Well, see, the thing is,
it's too much. It's like, we're supposed to be normal people. It's like, we weren't raised to be normal. Like, we didn't have the mother and the father. It's simple. I would rather be in the street I would rather be homeless and have my mother and my father than to have riches and all that stuff and just have a mom raising me.
Let me clarify one thing. She's not like just a wild woman, okay? She builds websites, very articulate, very talented. She sings, lots of skills. I think the behavior is really a taught behavior, and the problem with that is if you have a man who's trying to lead and trying to provide a foundation and structure for kids, they gotta see the man in charge. They can't see a loudmouth controlling person. Taking control of every situation. A man that loves his wife has to somehow put that in check, because if not, the kids can't see any type of authority. They won't respect authority, because you take a little girl, she's gonna try to do the same stuff that she sees her mother does. And I think in that case, that's what happened with Yahshell. So she needs somebody to explain to her how to behave, how to conduct herself in the presence of her husband. And I think that's what's missing in our community, the respect. And I believe it happened during slavery when women were taken advantage of and they didn't feel protected by their husband. So I think that has a lot to do with this Some people call it a generational curse. I call it just lack of role models, where the black family has basically been torn apart, and it was designed that way so the black man wouldn't have respect from their women. So somehow we got to get this respect back, and there has to be an agreement that we're going to provide a foundation for our family, for our kids, to see how a man should treat a woman and how a woman should treat a man. Because even today on the radio, the rap music teaches our men to disrespect the women, and it teaches the women to disrespect the men. So you have that generational curse going on today on the radio. I mean, I get frustrated sometimes when I listen to some of the radio shows where they call in and they have second date update, and these men just dog out the women, vice versa, the women dog out the men. So it's an ongoing thing when we just need a simple foundation. We need the respect in the home. We need to work on this as a group, as opposed to supporting this destruction of the black family.
Yeah, and so I guess you can consider me the middle girl. You're the middle man. I'm the middle girl. Now, I'm not a complete disaster, but I'm not perfect either.
Again, I love my wife. I love my wife so much.
I was referring to the younger you. You know what I'm saying? Not you as of today, but the younger you was able to land yourself a professional man. So that's something that's not easy to do. You know what I'm saying? A younger, wild Yahshell getting herself a professional man, it usually don't mix. You know what I'm saying? You don't, that's just, theoretically, no facts included, but
I would say that's facts, because I have a lot of girlfriends who are beautiful, beautiful black women, successful, and they just can't find a man. They mess around with thugs and the Pookie and the Ray Rays and all that stuff. Or if it's not Pookie and Ray Ray, it's just some guy that's just not that into them. So they're more into that guy than that guy is into them. So I would say that's facts. That's just based on that's facts.
Right. And so that's the basis principle of the, you know what I'm saying? That's what I thought, I see the basic principle of the domestic discipline, and that's the solution to a problem to the women out there when they know they ratchet, you know what I'm saying, which is only a small percent, but still they still out there, and to get yourself a professional man, because that kind of remind me. I don't know if anybody used to watch Empire, but when Cookie was dating the mayor or a mayor of a town or something, and she was just all ghetto, and he brought her to this little ball, and she all on the phone and fixing her bra, and just like, you know what I'm saying? She would have got it that night, like, yeah, you on the phone, you fixing your bra, you talking to my mom all crazy, yeah, it's cool, it's cool, you know what I'm saying? So with domestic discipline, Yahshell was able to figure that out. She came up with a solution. I mean, that's the key to survival. Is solutions. And
so how would that work in your relationship, or would it work, or is it what is your interest with domestic discipline? Like, I'm kind of curious.
Well, in my relationship, I'm a goofball, so I just talk a lot of sarcastic junk. But my wife, she kind of is a feminist, and so she feel that she's equal to me. So anytime I try to do something that's manly, not manly, but anytime I try to do something that's like for her or something, she get kind of offended. And so I know that, so I know how to push her buttons. So I can just come in and be like, lady, make me something to eat. You know what I'm saying? But I be joking.
It's like funny, sarcastic type thing.
Right. But it's at the same time, it's pushing some buttons. And so that's how I discipline her. I just talk a bunch of sarcastic remarks and stuff. But But in my relationship, I gotta catch my wife at the right time. If I catch her at the right time, you know what I'm saying, yeah, she'll experiment with it. But for like a like a full-time thing like you guys got, like I say, I'm the type of guy, like I say, I probably would never get no spankers in because I'm saving everything. And I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna let it build up, and I'm gonna pop a baby in there or something. You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't always. Okay, he's laughing. No, but seriously, I wouldn't really say that domestic discipline is a full-time thing with us because there are times like that where he lets things build up and then bam, there's a spanking. But then there's times where might be a spanking for 3 days straight in a row. So it's not full time, like a schedule. It's just.
No, I'm talking about the contract. I'm talking about the contract. I'm talking about you guys' contract is you guys came to an agreement. Like me and my wife, we have agreement for that night. You know what I'm saying? Or that time. And then after that it's like till next time. You know what I'm saying? But you guys' contract is forever. So
yeah, pretty much.
So that's what I mean.
I don't think you and your relationship. Okay, I don't. From what you're describing to me, I don't think you and your wife need domestic discipline. I mean, she sounds like she's submissive. She's the perfect wife. Like, you guys don't need this. And so that's why I was asking you.
Right. I'm not saying we need it, but we could use it because I'm real big on manners. You know what I'm saying? I like, you know what I'm saying? I like a woman that don't drink out of plastic. I like her to have a glass. I don't like her to sit on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So I'm real big on manners. And so my wife, she's actually Asian. And so they eat on the floor. Like sometimes they eat on the floor. And so I'm just like, oh, hell, you know what I'm saying? Hell no, because I don't like my wife to sit on the floor. That's like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think you have to embrace her culture.
Yeah, I know. I'm joking. But yeah, I'm joking. But what I'm saying is that like I'm real big on manners. And so sometimes she would sit on the floor because she was she never had a boyfriend before me, so she don't know. You know what I'm saying? So she don't know but she's just learning how to actually have a boyfriend. And so I gotta kind of tell her, like, don't sit on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Be careful. Don't sit with your, legs open, or, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm real big. Don't, I try to tell her, don't drink out of plastic, use a glass, all types of different stuff, and so sometimes she forget to do those things when she go to her parents' house. And so, sometimes I feel like a little bit of discipline, maybe she might want to do that no more. You know what I mean? But like I say, I'm too much of a goofball. Don't give me that power. I'll tell you.
I'm listening to you, and
I'm gonna be straight up. I think I'm a goofball.
Okay, I went through that thing. Well, I'll tell you a story. I stayed with my mother up until I was probably about 8, and then I moved in with my dad when I was like 9 until I was about 13. And so my stepmother, she was real big on proper etiquette, and stuff, and eating the right way and all this stuff.
Right.
I changed, but because I saw a different way of life. To that time, I was like taught other ways, and there wasn't a lot of emphasis taught on table manners and stuff like that. I mean, when you ate dinner, you just ate. My mom was a single mom, and she worked 3 jobs. But I think as far as culture, I mean, I took Japanese, so I know a lot. I know a lot about Asian culture. I guess when you're with American company, you eat the American way, and when you're an Asian company, you have to respect that person's culture. So every every
No, they don't actually eat on the floor. It was a joke. I mean, some Asians do, but their family does not actually eat on the floor. It was a joke. They don't. Yeah, I got some Asian friends who actually eat on the floor, but that's my wife's particular family. They don't eat on the floor. It was a joke, but it was.
I like how they take their shoes off.
you're basically saying that there's certain things you think are manners that you're accustomed to the way you were raised.
I'm just not finding this out about myself because I never really cared too much. But as I, you know what I'm saying, as I, got older and more mature, I guess I don't know how it came. How did I even care? I don't even know why. But I just, it just manners. I don't know what it is about manners that I like. I'm not even sure. But I just like a woman with really good manners. You know what I'm saying? And so, but sometimes, when they, like we go over her family house, they'll have some plastic cups. And I will go and I will get her a glass because I don't like her drinking out of plastic. And so it will be a little embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? But it's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's all types of things, you know what I'm saying, that I teach her about and tell her about. And so sometimes, she forget. And so a little bit of discipline can actually, help with that if she knew there was a, consequence or something. But like I said, I couldn't have that power. I'm too much of a goofball. I'll be setting traps and shit, and, just goofy as hell. I ain't gonna lie.
I think you pay a lot of attention to detail. I mean, just by what you're saying about the plastic cups and all that. You have to be careful that you aren't too detailed. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of like I guess lighten up. I mean, that's the best as a man. I'm telling you, because with a woman, you gotta let her know that she's doing some things right. Because if everything that she does is wrong as far as what she eats out of and all that, that's a little bit of, just being real. That's a lot of pressure.
That's a little petty.
But you said you were raised by 3 women, right?
4, yeah.
Okay, see, that's the thing. You have to realize where you came from. And you gotta lighten up a little bit and don't pay so much attention to details. I mean, it serves its purpose in some places, like if you're a businessman. Yeah, you're gonna pay attention to details, but
right,
you want her to feel comfortable.
Right.
That she's doing some stuff right. You don't want her on edge all the time about she's gonna eat out of the wrong utensil or something like that. I mean, seriously, man. But as far as the legs, I don't know if that was a joke or not, but the way women sit, I have to tell my daughter all the time, hey, I have to tell my daughter, hey, close your legs. I mean, I got a 14-year-old. I got a 26-year-old. I mean, she's grown. She knows. But
right.
So if that's the case with the leg thing, you got to do what you got to do. That's something that definitely needs to be addressed because you don't want somebody. You know what I'm saying? But as far as some of the other stuff that are really detailed, I think you got to kind of lighten up a little bit and kind of show some support. You may want to still bring it up, but not as often, but kind of work on things. And you have to practice stuff. I had a Japanese teacher. She's like, you need to practice. That kind of takes the stress out of it when you say practice this or practice that. It's not as much pressure when you say practice.
Right.
The bottom line is I think you got to let her be who she is. But at the same time, there's some things you have to be addressed because you're in the business, you're in the business world. If it's a business dinner or something like that, then yeah, you need to practice.
And he also does a lot of stuff for our community, us. Too.
Yeah. So some things you have to practice because image is very important.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes we go on balls, and stuff like that, and sometimes I'm owner of a store, and so sometimes women come in there and they talk to me and they just tell me, men too, they just tell me all their business. You know what I'm saying? And so, like sometimes she get cop an attitude, and it's just like, it's like, chill out, man. I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to, cop an attitude, or some lady come in, or stuff like that. So so it's lots of different stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's lots of it is little stuff. It's not worth to get. It's not worth like what she got on that video. It's not nothing like that. But
I think it definitely
just to have a consequence, just to have some type of consequence, I think that would be saying like, okay, I want to learn, and it will also be saying that I'm trying.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking. But to get what Yahshell got over a glass, that's a little too. That's a little too much.
Yeah, but as far as the attitude, then I think that could possibly be, a consequence could be, spanking, or it could be money. I mean, you could charge money if you cop an attitude with me in front of a customer, then you got to pay a fine. That's a form of discipline too. I mean, it doesn't always have to be a spanking. It depends on how bad the attitude was. If she totally embarrassed you, you lost a customer, or this was like a friend of yours and it happened. Yeah, it could be a spanking.
Levels.
Yeah, but no, everything doesn't deserve a spanking. That's crazy.
Yeah, but somebody asked about your video, Yahshell. A lot of people they ain't seen the spank video. But Yahshell got a nice little spanking on that video. If you ain't seen it,
I'm gonna give you an example. You tell me whether you think it deserves a spanking or not. Okay, like this is dealing with the kids, and I don't ever spank in front of the kids.
You're not going there.
I'm gonna give you an example.
Hey, Yahshell, you want to tell them where to find the spank videos?
BlackDomesticDiscipline.com.
Black domestic. Oh, go ahead.
BlackDomesticDiscipline.com. Spanking videos. It's really easy.
These is the real deal now. These is professional spankings, people. These ain't no weird little videos. These is professionals.
Weird little videos. That's right.
I'll just play it. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think a time for a spanking is when a woman questions. When a woman undermines her husband's authority in front of the kids, because I think that sends the wrong message to the kids, and again, it's creating that generational curse where the daughter sees disrespect to the husband. I think that's a good case for a spanking.
I don't think so.
So, what do you think about that?
Hold on, what was that? You was about to give us an example of something.
Oh, an example.
He just
okay,
did.
you want to hear the example? Okay, I'm gonna give you another example. So, I tell my daughter asked me for the computer, and I said, wait a minute. Yahshell takes the computer and gives it to her anyway, when I just told my daughter to wait. So I think in that case, it's teaching impatience to my daughter, and it's teaching her to undermine what her future husband asks of her, because a child needs to see a husband and wife on one accord, not disaccord, and that's what's been happening. I think that's really what happens a lot. It may not be that blatant right in front of the person's face, but it may be behind the back. And I know a lot of times, the wife will go do something for a kid that the husband said not to do. You're like, don't tell your daddy I did this here. especially I think women have a habit of spoiling their sons, giving them too much and letting them get away with too much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's horrible, man. Like the undermining in front of the children, you know, that is definitely something that sends the wrong message, especially in front of a son. You know, you know, and I see that a lot, man. And that's, you know, that sends a real bad message to the boy, not only about the relationship with his mother and father, but his relationship with women. Because a lot of women, you see them disrespecting the fathers or undermining the father, and then the boy kind of grows up, you know what I mean, not having the authority he needs, or being led and ran by women himself.
Exactly. He develops a hate for women, and I think a lot of times what happens is the man will leave. I love my wife. I'm not leaving my wife. I think a lot of times the man will get so fed up that he just, okay, I can't deal with this no more. If I stay in this relationship, I'm gonna hurt somebody. I don't want to put my hand on people and stuff like that. So the man leaves, and then the boy ends up hating his mother and ends up hating women. So he lashes out at women and starts, you know, to dog women out. So I think that's what happens. So that's why it upsets me so much when the undermining part takes place. Because if you're gonna respect authority, then you get it. It starts with the woman's respect for her husband, yeah, and vice versa. Little girls need to see their mothers respecting their fathers, and little boys need to see the man treating women. Treating the mother like a woman. And that's what's missing. That's what's really missing. But nobody's addressing that.
Yeah, that was a cause for a double spanking right there.
I kind of see that a little bit different, because that's actually kind of the hero villain thing that we call in my house. It's actually pretty normal. Like somebody's always the hero, somebody's always the villain. So
exactly. In other words, they play.
That's kind of normal.
Kids will play one parent against the other one to get what they want. Oh, mommy won't give it to me, so I'll go ask daddy to give it to me.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
what should happen is, you know, the mother should be saying, "What did your daddy tell you?" And this support. You know, we need to support each other in our relationship.
Yeah. Yahshell, you getting a little chewed over there? Don't get a spanking tonight. What's going on over there?
Somebody, you know, I think a couple
it's
people.
It's hard for me because my kids, like, man, they're my children. I love them. I want to see them happy. I don't discipline my children. All right, fine. You called me out on that. I don't. I want to try to give them everything that I never had. And
you know, the thing about it is, discipline has to start at home, because if you don't get discipline at home, you're going to get discipline in the workplace, or you're going to get discipline, you know, by the police. I'm going to give you an example. When I was working, I had a habit of coming in late. So I got disciplined at work. I mean, I didn't lose my job, but I had this great supervisor. She would say, you know, you're a great employee, but you got to be here on time. She would say, don't schedule anything before work, because when you do that, you're going to always come into work late. So don't schedule anything 2 hours before work. So I gave myself that little leeway. 2 hours before work, I wouldn't schedule anything. So that made me become a better employee. But I did get disciplined. You know, I didn't get suspended, but I got disciplinary action taken against me. I had a write-up. But see, this disciplining should happen at home before you even get in the job market, or before you even go to school. Kids need to be trained.
I know I need to work on that
before they get. they need to be trained to be successful. And when parents don't agree on stuff and kids play parents against each other, it's not fair to them because they're not prepared for life. They're not even prepared for success. You know,
Right.
you got to be prepared.
One thing that
you need. Talking about what age are you talking about?
Well, I'm gonna give you an example. With my son, he's 7. I make him set his alarm clock before he goes to bed because he needs to be able to get out of bed on time for himself. He has to have his clothes laid out the night before. So I'm teaching him responsibility.
Right.
So he'll be prepared for an opportunity. He won't have to get ready. He won't need disciplinary action. He'll have his stuff together. And I think you start him when they can walk, when they can talk. You start giving them responsibility.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cause I found out, cause I got a son. He'll be 18 this year, and I found out that there's a certain age group that if you spank a kid in that age group, you can just threaten them for the rest of their life. Like my son, 18, but when he was younger, he tried me, with this certain little age group he got in, and now he don't try me no more. And so all I can do is just raise my voice. As a man, I can raise my voice, and he still remembered that little whooping he got when he was, 3-4 years old. And so I really don't have to, touch him. And now I got, a couple other sons, and one other son. He's, he ain't got into the whooping age yet. And my other son, he's just leaving it. So, me personally, I just, I've spanked my kids in a certain little age group, and then the rest, I'm threatening them because I can come up with some threatening stuff that can.
What is that age group? What is the age group?
Well, every child is different, but it just depends on their maturity level. But my child is 2. He was 2, and now he's 3 years old. So he's 3, and so he's leaving. 3, he's starting to talk real well. He's starting to carry 4 sentences and stuff like that. So, actually spanking him is probably not going to cut it. So I just, I spanked him in those little age groups where he can't talk that good, and now he carry 4 sentences. So now I just threaten him, kind of like that. I mean, I don't know if that's weird or nothing, but but that's kind of what I do. So it's kind of each his own. But some kids are just bad. They know after a certain amount of times they know you're not going to hit them. But
yeah.
But if you, what I'm saying. But if you the authority of the house, I think when you raise your voice, I think they probably will respect that. You know what I'm saying? Most kids, he's pissed today. You know what I'm saying? I kick a balloon or something. I do the whole love shebang. I ain't gonna put a finger on you, but I'll make you think I'll break your face. You know what I'm saying? And to try to, put you in line.
Oh yeah, that's old school right there. That's a good technique.
Ain't gonna bite butter. You know what I'm saying? But I sure swell up. But yeah, so that right there, that situation right there, I think it's each his own, because you make a good point. You know what I'm saying? If you want to have a orderly house, and that's kind of old school. But me, like I say, me and my wife, we got this, this good cop, bad cop. We got this good cop, bad cop thing with our kids. So that way we can always know the secrets of what's going on. She can come tell me what she do. You know what I'm saying? And we can get it out. I can talk them down, you know what I'm saying, from crying, because I'm the good guy and she's the bad guy. And so he's telling on her. He's expressing his feelings. He's telling us what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we want. And sometimes I'm the bad guy. And she get to be like, what did he do? And to make him express his feelings so he can be good at expressing himself, instead of, resorting to violence or getting, weird. So that's just kind of where the undercutting and stuff, what you was talking about, we kind of play that type of deal.
I got Gotcha.
That's good.
I understand what you're saying. Like, basically, if my daughter is upset with my wife, then you be like, "What's wrong, baby? Talk to daddy."
Right.
Tell him what the problem is. Yeah,
She
I
gonna kill
understand
it.
exactly where you come from. But what I was talking about is, like, if a kid asks for something and you tell him no, I was thinking more along the lines of, not rights and privileges, but just kind of material things.
Right, y'all.
Agree on, stay on the same page with that stuff. But as far as the yin and yang, if one person's hard, then another person come back and say, "Hey, what's wrong? Talk to daddy." You kind of keep that communication flow going. I understand exactly what you're talking about, because my wife would do that. If I'm hard, she'll come back and kind of finesse and sweet talk the kids, and then they'd be like, "Well, such and such." I understand exactly what you're talking about. There's a time for that too.
I have a question, interesting question. Would you guys mind if your daughter got into domestic discipline one day?
She would definitely have to be of age. She would have to at least be 18 years old, know what she's doing. She would have to be with a good man and not know crappy. There's certain men who are just not cut out for this. And if she ever decided that she wanted to do this, I would support her.
Well, coming from a father's point of view, I believe that if my daughter, if I'm a good example of what a man is supposed to be to my daughter,
she won't even need it.
She won't run into, she won't settle for the thug type guy. And I'm not knocking thug type guys. There are some good guys who, kind of portray themselves as thugs. They may look like a thug, but they're really, really good guys. So my daughter definitely needs to see me respect my wife as a woman and show her respect as a woman. So she'll know, what to accept as a husband. And as far as in answering your question, as long as she's not abused, just slapped around, you know what I'm saying, slapped around and just
thrown down the steps.
So, black guy and all
black guys,
black guy, that's not domestic.
We ain't handling
that's abuse.
That's abuse.
Okay, I got a question too. So when you doing a spanking, what type of state of mind are you in?
Well, I'm in a state of mind where I'm expressing myself. I'm talking. This is what you did. We talked about it before. We need to correct this behavior, or this is going to be. There's going to be a greater consequence that's going to affect our kids, our marriage. That's basically talking, not just beating somebody. It's communication. I seen a spanking video, and this guy was just going at it. The girl was turning purple. I don't think that's domestic discipline. I don't think that's what God. I'm like, does he love this woman to beat her like that, for about 30 or 40 minutes? Women who,
what she do?
They didn't even say.
They didn't say. It's just blue butt for no reason. There's no way.
No, he did say. He said she was partying too much. She was staying out.
Oh yeah.
Drinking.
The lady, evidently the lady had stayed out drinking. Went out with her girlfriend or somebody, stayed out all night. Now, my wife and I have an understanding that if we're out past 9 o'clock, we're going to be with each other. Now, it depends on what kind of understanding you have. If you're a woman and your husband asks you not to stay out all night, and you have a tendency to get in trouble or you drink too much, anything can happen in this day and time as far as, your safety, your well-being. That if a woman stayed out all night, I think she deserves a spanking. some women may say, well, I'm grown, I do what I want to do. But if you're married, then you're kind of like under oath. You made a commitment to respect your husband. So in that case, yeah, you need a spanking if you stayed out all night. But I don't think you need to be beaten till you turn blue.
I got a question for you, Shell. So is it a certain state of mind? Like I'm guessing you will be able to sense his mood when you get in that spanking. And is it a certain mood that's harsher than others? Is it a certain mood that you be like, oh man, I got up this time?
On infraction. It depends on what I did. If it depends, like if it was something small, or if it was something that was like, okay, this is really dangerous, or this is really bad, or this just is gonna damage our relationship, then yeah, it can be intense.
So basically, you pretty much process the damage that was done, and then you can determine what's
at that point in time. No, at that point in time. No, I cannot. I cannot.
So you don't know.
I'm literally just.
But is it certain times? Is it certain times where you done got it real good at sometimes, and sometimes it was just kind of like that ain't nothing. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, is it an up and down type of thing, or is it always like, oh yeah, I messed up this time?
Well, it's domestic discipline, so if I get spanked, it's most likely because I did do something messed up.
I think he's asking about the intensity.
Right.
I don't know.
Like if you come in the house pissed, you know what I'm saying, knock over something, and he say you finna get spanked.
He doesn't spank me for stuff like that.
No,
I don't get spanked for stuff like that.
I'm just saying, but sometimes he might come in the house and just tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you know what, there's some things going, and I'm finna spank you for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, is there a certain...
He never does that. No, I don't recall any time that he's ever done that.
No, I'm not talking about that literally. I'm talking about different moods that he get in where you have more fear, or you have, you know what I'm saying, or there be a little more pain. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you done, let's say for example, you stayed out 5 times, and one time he really you really got it in, and a couple times it was just kind of medium or something like that. Like, is there a fluctuation?
Well, okay, all right. I remember this one time where I was supposed to get up for work, and he didn't spank me for sleeping over. I did sleep in a little bit, but he rattled his belt, and I was like, I just jumped up. Like, he didn't spank me, and it was very low intensity, but just the sound of it.
Know what's coming next.
Just the sound of it woke me up and got me on my way to work.
Oh, okay. So have you ever offered to spank him or whatever?
Okay, you remember? I did spank him one time, but it ended up being like a joke. Like, it was so funny because the roles were reversed. I was feeling very, very aggressive that day. But when I spanked him, we just both bust out laughing. I don't know. It was just funny. I don't know why it was funny. It just was. I thought I was doing something. I did.
It was funny. He said, he like this cute ass shit. Get the hell out of here. He was probably, yeah. Like, you try to ball that little, like, women be trying to ball their hand up. Like, you don't get that little cute ass shit out of here. I'll kiss that shit. Who the fuck?
I'm like, no, wait a minute, I ain't Donald Trump now.
Oh my God.
No, it was actually funny. It was actually funny that she was trying to spank me. I couldn't get mad. I was just laughing. It kind of woke me up. I was laying down, and all of a sudden I felt a belt.
So can I ask, what'd you do?
What's that?
What'd you do? If that's not too personal.
Oh, I took the belt away from her.
No,
I said, that's my job.
What
that's my job.
What made her think? You know what I'm saying? What'd you do? Why she just had it, or she just? It was just
a joke.
Playing.
It was just, no, it was just a joke. Yeah, it was just a joke.
When I started out, I was serious, but it ended in a joke. It was so funny. Like it just turned left. I wasn't expecting that.
Adrenaline. So it's adrenaline. So is there any little type of fear consequence that kind of makes it fun, or kind of makes it very fun, like knowing you don't get in trouble for this, and you can't if you get caught, what I mean, is that, do you like that, or is that something, I mean, like the little fear
God,
factor?
these are hard questions. Good Lord.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, my bad.
No,
I'm just
no. I want to be as honest as possible. I just don't know that I have the capability to answer your questions, because the whole thing of this, the whole reason why I introduced this to the relationship was because I want to be a better woman. So that's the serious side of it. And then when you, but when you start looking at like the fun thing, there is a fun side to it. There is a sexual side to it. But I really want to be a better woman. So it's like a double-edged sword.
Right, but you landed the professional man, and so that's the bottom line, pretty much. The bottom line is you was able to land the professional man, and so
that's the bottom line,
right?
And there is a solution for us. We are not just totally out there and just to the point of no return. There is a solution for us, and we got to start wrapping it up now.
Basically, I pursued her. It wasn't a situation where she was chasing me, and the whole time I saw a lot of potential, and I believed in her, and I supported her, and just tried to encourage her to be the best that she could be. So I think that's important in a relationship.
Yep. Okay. But we gotta wrap it up. I'm getting the messages that we gotta wrap up the show.
Okay. Well, I just say one thing. American politics. Those professional senators. Those professional athletes. Yahshell's gonna be coming to y'all balls. She's gonna be in y'all dinners. We found a solution. She's gonna be there.
She's right.
Talking on the phone. So. Peace, everybody. Peace, Lex. Peace, family.
Peace. Thank you guys so much. It was great. All right. Have a good night.
All right. Bye.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out to Vortex Media 2 once again. Yahshell, Queen Yahshell, and Black Domestic Discipline brings y'all the information once again. We appreciate everybody. Make sure you go to 5,000. Elite.com and check us out over there. Download the Lakeisha Network on your Android phone or at your Apple store. LAKESHA. It's our own communication system. Know what I'm saying? Till next time, stronger than my pain and perception determines your reality. We don't get better. We don't get bitter. We get better.
She told you